Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Magical Maiden, and welcome to my jewelry tutorial videos. And what I'm going to show you today is how to make these shooting star earrings. Well, the first thing you're going to need is these filigree stars. Now, they only came in gold. As you can see, this is the way they came in gold. It came in a filigree set of different shapes, and Unfortunately, it was all in gold, and I don't really like gold, but you might prefer gold. Now, it's not real gold. It is filigree. They are flexible, but not too bendable. But they are flexible, so you can shape them. Now, I had spray painted this in a mirror finish silver paint, but this is what it's going to look like after you paint it. Now, I prefer silver. I'm not a fan of gold, but if you make things to sell or give as gifts, you're going to want all different colors. So if you can only find these in gold, you might be able to find them in silver, but say you want to paint them copper, black, green, blue, whatever color you want, purple, you can spray paint it and get like a mirror finish like I did. So the mirror finish is going to give it a high shine, kind of like it originally came in gold. And you want that because if it's flat, it doesn't look too pretty. And what I did was I got a silver glitter nail polish. And what I did was I got a silver glitter nail polish. And once this paint was nice and dry, I waited a whole day because I hung it up and spray painted it. Actually, I had my husband spray paint it on a wire, and he spray painted it, and it dried, and I waited a whole day before I got it out of the shed. So then what I did was I got some silver glitter nail polish. You can use any kind you want, but the kind I used was Sinful Colors. Okay, and I'm out of it now, so I just had to order more, and it's called Queen of Beauty. You got to be careful because some have big chunks. This had nice little chunks. Unfortunately, I used this making a lot of shooting stars, and the reason why I use nail polish is because you can get a nice coat and you can control it. The first thing you're going to need are these filigree stars. Again, I only found them in gold, but that's fine. You can paint them any color you wish. Okay? Once you paint them, you're going to need some glitter nail polish. Like I said, you don't have to use this type, but see how fine it is? That's what you're really going for. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is some chain. And then some beads, not the black beads, but you see these little tiny clear, they're very iridescent. They have a bunch of different colors. That's why they're iridescent, and they're tiny. So that's what you're going to need. Another thing you're going to need are 4mm. You're going to need these silver 4mm jump rings. Now, if you're going to paint these a different color, then of course your chain is probably going to be whatever color the chain is. You're probably going to want to get that. But if these are silver, let's go with silver because they are stars. That's probably the most logical color you want to paint them. So these are 4mm jump rings. Okay. The next thing you're going to need is some earring hooks. The earring fish hooks, any kind you prefer. And like I said, some chain. You're going to need chain for sure. You're going to need your jewelry tools, usually a cutter of some sort for the chain, and then your round nose and chain nose to put the jump rings on. Then you're going to need some, and I got this E6000 glue. I keep my toothpick in it, preventing the glue from all bellowing out when my glue is opened. Then the next thing you're going to need are some of these. Now you can use the acrylic gemstones that they sell at the craft stores or online, or these. I got these at Walmart. They're stickies. Now while they're very sticky, they're considered stickers and they have an adhesive in the back. You're still going to want to use your E6000 glue. Reason being, the adhesive isn't that sticky and it'll just fall off. So this is an option. You don't have to use these, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them. So let's get started. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and already done the majority of this, and what I did was, I'm going to try to show you without. What I did was I already cut the chain. Now, I'm going to lift this up so I get a look. So as you can see, the way the shooting star is, the chains are all different sizes, okay? And I put it off to one side of the filigree. So I want you to get a good look, okay? I put that off to one side. So it's very important that you remember, because you have a left and a right ear, you want them to sit where this would be in the back. So this would be my right ear, okay? You can see, and they're on there, and that's the way they would sit in the back. And this would be my left ear. So you want to make sure you're mindful of putting them in opposite sides for the opposite ear, okay? See how I did that? And only on one side. Because they're going to sit the same way, but if you put them on the same side, they're not going to sit looking like they're supposed to. And I think you understand what I mean by doing that. So this would be my right one, and this would be in the back, okay, of my right side. Now it doesn't look that way because this would look like it would be the left because of the mirror image. It's like a little reverse. So now what I used on here is you're going to cut different lengths of chain, some longer, and it depends on how long you want it. So I'm not going to give you measurements of each of the chains because you're going to want to cut it to the length you like. Some people like it super long, and some people like it a little shorter, depending on how long you like your length of earrings. But I wanted it long, but not too long. So I cut them about 4 to 5 inches long for the longest one, and then I cut some 4 inches, 3 inches, and that's what I did. Now you can very well use this. This is a rhinestone. This is a rhinestone chain. Now you can just use rhinestone chain if you want, but if you don't want to use rhinestone chain, just take a piece of it and mix it in, and then attach some of those little beads I showed you that are mixed in with these like crystal beads. And I added them to the chain with the 4mm jump ring so that you have a combination of things going on, okay? So it's up to you. If you just want to put all rhinestones, you can, but I like the mixture, and it has a nice sparkle to it, okay? So you're going to cut random sizes, but make sure you do the same sizes for both the left and the right side. Okay, so cut them all at the same time. Put the left and the right on either side so you got the same amount. Get a piece of rhinestone if you'd like. That's an option, but I like it because it adds that extra sparkle. Get some clear, small, crystal-y, iridescent beads anywhere, and then attach them and look. So you don't need too many, and you gather them on one side. Now this is reminiscent of an earring that they sell by Laurent, Yves Saint Laurent, or Saint Laurent, and they go for like $600 and something, which is ridiculous. Because you can make this for just a few dollars. I put, if you want to know how much chain I put, including the rhinestone chain, I have about 7 pieces of chain here, okay? And again, you're going to want the you're going to want to put them to one side, okay? Once you do that, you've attached your beads and everything. Go look at it. Now do the same thing, but on the opposite side, on the next one, okay? Again, keeping in mind that they got to sit the same way and not opposite on your ear, okay? Then, when you got all that done and your glitter is dry, now what else you could do is, if you're not happy with that and you can fit a few more chain, go ahead. I wouldn't add chain. Also, make sure that the filigree is facing out. So once you've got this, the next step is we're going to glue on some of these, maybe just even one, okay? So I'm going to take one of these, and they're adhesive, you see? You pull it off, and then they're iridescent. I'm going to put one in the center. I don't think I'm going to put it all over. I don't want it to be so busy. Now you're going to take a toothpick, and you're going to just put a little on the back of your little acrylic rhinestone sticker, and very carefully put it on the center. Now you can use tweezers if that helps you. If you're very shaky, tweezers will help navigate you. And you want to put it in the center, okay? Now, if you get excess glue all over the place, get another toothpick. So have a few toothpicks and go along the edge and gather that up. And then have a rag or paper towel to wipe the excess off. So you want to make sure it's centered. You want to make sure you get all that excess glue off. You want to give a good push down below. And again, make sure that all that excess glue is not showing. Make sure it's sitting even. When you're sure, give it a good press down. If it moves, that's okay. E6000 glue gives you some time to mess with it. Okay. Now, you see how that looks? It's adding extra sparkle. Now, if you want, you could add one to the back as well. Okay, so you don't see all the globs of glue in the back. That's what I would do. I would add another one, and you can always wipe off the excess glue that shows with your toothpick, okay? So, but first, before I glue it to the back, I'm going to let this dry. Okay, make sure it's sitting properly. And basically, it's going to look like this when all done. Now, you can add little ones if you want, but this is all I think you need. You don't want it to be too busy because you already have a lot in the bottom. What you do is, after you glue the second one, you should compare and make sure they're both even. Okay, you don't want one that sits higher, one sits lower. So I'm looking at them and I see that this one sits, so while the glue is still a little wet, you want to take that look and make sure everything's even. So once you've got the rhinestones on, go ahead and let that dry before you mess with it, because it should be all finished now. You should have everything attached to it before you glue that, okay? So that's what the finished product's gonna look like. I really love the way they turned out. But there's also something else. You can create ornaments, and rather than an earring fish hook, just put a regular hook and hang this on your Christmas tree.